The Detroit Pistons are back. They're not just creeping back, they are announcing themselves at 9-2 and sitting first in the Eastern Conference. The Detroit Pistons are no longer an afterthought. They're no longer a rebuilding team. They are demanding attention. And today we're breaking down how they got here. We want to talk about the rise of Cade Cunningham and how I think he is a potential superstar. Want to talk about the breakout for Jalen Duren, who's had an amazing season so far, and how the team has improved from last season and why they're legitimate contenders in the East. So, just one season ago, Detroit was looking to rebuild, and they finished 44-38, and this was their best mark in many years. They clinched a playoff berth as the sixth seed in the East for the first time since 2019. They also almost beat the Knicks and took them to the brink essentially and got bailed out. The Knicks got bailed out, where I think the Detroit Pistons had an opportunity to win a very important game where a foul was not called. But anyway, fast forward to this season, they're 9-2. They're the top team in the East so far. And what does this tell us? It tells us that this isn't a fluke. They made the leap last year. Now they're building momentum, and the league is taking notice. So, what's changed? It's a mix of player development, internal growth, savvy additions, improved culture, improved coaching, and defensive commitment. And so this team can be a top 10 team in offensive rating and defensive rating. And if that's the case, I think they're a real contender. Now let's talk about Cade Cunningham. So he is the heartbeat of this team. He's the leader. And right now he's averaging 27.5 points per game, 9.9 assists. That's elite guard production. He's number 2 in the NBA in assists per game so far. He's hitting his stride not only as a scorer, but also as a facilitator. And what stands out is the team with him is averaging 118 points per game in the games he plays. So he's elevating the squad. Beyond the numbers, his leadership is showing the evolution from being just a talented first round pick rookie to a bona fide leader of a playoff team is real. He's taken that leap in front of our eyes. His ability to draw attention, create for others, still score in the crunch, be a 3-level scorer, get to the free throw line is what separates good teams from contenders. And recently he dropped a 46-point game, 12 rebound, 11 assist, triple double overtime. And so he is ascending in front of our eyes. Next up, Jalen Duren. He's the other half of this dynamic core. This season, he's been averaging 19.4 points per game, 12 rebounds. His field goal percentage is outstanding, 64.7%. He's finishing with authority. So you've got Cade orchestrating, scoring, creating, and you've got Duren dominating the glass and finishing at the rim like a Dwight Howard. And last season, Duren already showed promise, but this year he's taken that next step and that leap. That interior presence gives Detroit both offense and a defensive anchor. When your big man is pulling down 12 boards a night and scoring efficiently, you have a chance to win every single night, and Detroit is showing up. Between Cade and Duren, you've got the backcourt engine and the frontcourt anchor, and if that combo stays healthy and keeps improving, the ceiling for this team is high. Let's zoom out real quick to a team level and talk about how Detroit has improved since last season. Their defensive structure. So they are one of the better defensive teams in the NBA. Ausar Thompson is one of the best defenders, just like his twin brother, Amen. They've added also just more depth in general. So it's not just the defense, it's the offense. They've added shooters and veterans to support the young core. And their culture and their expectation has shifted. So going from one of the worst teams to a playoff team last year, their mindset has changed. And it doesn't hurt when you draft the number 1 pick who is panning out to become a superstar. So their 9-2 start, I think that's a statement, and they're showing consistency. And with Cade on the floor, the sky is the limit. So let's talk about why they are contenders in the East, at least. Again, what I mentioned earlier, they have an elite 2-man combo with Cade plus Duren. One creates and scores, one dominates the paint and is your lob threat, and also his defense is great. So it's hard to make a game plan for both. They have youth and internal growth. So this is a young team that is already showing high level performance. So there is upside and they're winning early. So take the regular season series, become a top 3 team in the East, protect home court, and that's going to help you in the playoffs when it matters. And again, their supporting cast has depth. Now they have players like Duncan Robinson on this lineup that are playing well. They have veterans like Tobias Harris, and then Jaden Ivey. He's dealt with the injury bug, which is unfortunate. He's hurt now. He is someone who hasn't played yet and wasn't playing a lot last year, and they're still doing good. So keep up the momentum. Make sure you have that edge and play hard in the regular season, develop chemistry, stack up some wins, and that's going to help and matter when it comes to the playoff team. So, what are some of the questions though? Because no team is perfect. And one, the health, keeping Cade healthy, Duren healthy, Auxerre healthy. Like you need your core to be healthy. That's going to be key. 3-point shooting and perimeter defense. The East is strong right now. So getting stops, making shots, hitting the 3 ball is going to be important. Playoff experience. The Pistons have a young core. So playoff toughness, closing out a series, all that still needs to be built. They need to prove that they can get far. Is this a year they can get to the Eastern Conference? If so, that is huge growth. And you need to get far, obviously, before you can win a championship. So, can they win a few series before we legitimately say they are actually a contender? But either way, this team looks good at 9-2. They're atop of the East right now. They're announcing themselves. Cade Cunningham looks like one of the best guards in the entire league. And if Jalen Duren can continue on this path and look like a Dwight Howard type of player, that's going to be huge for this team. And it's going to continue their upward trend from last season. So, anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you guys think that the Detroit Pistons are actually a contender? Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.